If you're running a small business and you've made the decision to use Xero, it is important that you're getting everything out of it that's going to help your business. Today I'm going to be going through 5 of my favorite functions that Xero has that you might not know about. The first one is repeating invoices. So you can obviously make normal invoices in Xero, but did you know you can also make repeating invoices? This is going to be incredibly helpful if you've got a customer that you invoice on a repeating basis. So let's have a look at how this works. So we can create an invoice and we can change it to go every week or every month. And you can set it to be in a draft stage, an approved stage, or an approved for sending stage. So maybe you've got an invoice that's varying a little bit on an ongoing basis. You might want to set that in draft basis. Maybe you've got something else that's the exact same every single month and you're happy to set it as approved for sending. So you can go through, create the descriptions, you can create placeholders so you can put different months if you want to change parts within the invoice. You can have your amount, you have that set amount. The great thing with something like this is you can set the account here and you can make sure it's always going to the right account. You're keeping things consistent. You're making sure you're tracking categories in there if needed. All of the things that you can do within a repeat invoice also not only allows you to cut down admin time because it's already being sent out, but allows you to ensure things are consistent within your accounting records. Any function like this that not only saves you time, but also allows you to get paid for your invoices, hopefully faster, is going to more than cover the cost of the Xero fees. The second one is the ability to save documents. So you can attach documents to invoices or transactions. So if we go into a transaction here, you can see that you can actually add files to this. So you can attach documents. So maybe you've spent money somewhere and you want to just upload an invoice for it. So when you reference that transaction, you've got it there. You don't have to do this, but it's just an extra functionality that can help you with document storage and just keeping those receipts. It's also really handy to refer back to, especially on whether it's bigger transactions, maybe you've bought a vehicle, or whether it's something small, but you just upload it and therefore your accountant can see it. So maybe I'm not sure if something should have GST or not. I can go in, I can view the invoice and see, yes, it has GST. It's all good to be left alone. Or maybe the invoice shows it doesn't have GST. The client's put it through with GST and I can adjust. So the great thing with this is it can solve some of your other issues of like, where do I actually store my receipts? Instead, you're storing them within the accounting software. You can go one step further and use Xero's integration with HubDoc, where you can take photos of receipts, upload them directly into Xero, and then create bills from there. Now, if you are looking for an accountant that knows lots about Xero, then I would love to help you as a part of my business, Rooshock Accounting. We deal with Xero a lot with our clients. We deal with a lot of different businesses across a lot of different industries. So if you feel like you want to get more out of your Xero, then get in touch with us today and we can let you know how we can help. The next is in the reporting functions, and there's a lot of different reports that you could use, but one of my favorites is the General Ledger Exceptions report. So this report allows you to customize which date range you're using and allows you to view all of your different accounts and any kind of transactions that look a little bit different to what else is there. So this could be something like this transaction here in the demo file that is higher than average. You've sent out an invoice and this is higher than your typical invoices. Now you might go, yep, that's fine, I know that's correct. Or you might look at it and go, well, that doesn't look correct. Maybe it's been allocated to the wrong code. Or you might get transactions that say this GST rate differs from the default rate on this account. Now this could again be correct, or maybe you might go, oh, hang on, I've accidentally put the wrong code here. This is a great starting point when you're first reviewing a period to look at what has happened in this period and is there anything that looks different to the normal. I always use it every single time I'm working on a client file as a starting point just to see if there are any exceptions that need to be fixed. And the chances are if there's one error, it might be a recurring error where it needs to be fixed multiple times. The next function is the remove and redo function. The chances are if you're using accounting software, somewhere along the time you will make a mistake. I make mistakes when I work on files, you'll likely make a mistake there. You type in a code, then you review a profit and loss and you go, hang on, I've put that to the wrong code. You can either go in and edit, or you can actually click on these boxes here if you're doing an account transaction report and hit remove and redo, and this will remove those transactions. So this is great if you've got a bulk amount of transactions that you've put wrong. Maybe you've coded stuff and you go, hang on, this just isn't right at all, and you maybe want to remove a whole month's worth of stuff because you want to start again. You can do it. The great thing is being able to do things in bulk, and Xero has a lot of functionality at times where you can do things in bulk to restart things. I find out of all the accounting software that's out there, Xero is the easiest to fix mistakes, which is great as an accountant that's working on a file that maybe a client isn't that aware of how to actually use Xero. I can easily fix the mistakes, show the client the end result, and then tell them this is how you can fix it to ensure that it's not going to happen on an ongoing basis. And then the fifth one is the assurance dashboard. And this is really handy if you've got multiple users using your file. So this is great if you've got staff members that have access to your Xero. Maybe they're doing some invoicing for you, or maybe they're paying bills. You can go into this assurance dashboard and see 4 different categories. First we have here is the user activity, and it's who's actually been using it and when they've been using it. This is really helpful if you're thinking something looks wrong with Xero, and then you can go, well, who's actually been in the file recently? Or maybe you're wanting to check, is your accountant actually going into your file on a regular basis? The next area is the bank of accounts section. So this is where you can see, have there been manually transactions being added to your bank accounts? Have things been deleted? Have you marked things as reconciled? This is really handy if your bank reconciliation report just won't balance and you can't find where it's out. Head over to here and see, has anything been manually altered? We then have the contact section. So has anyone changed the bank accounts through some of your clients recently? This is really important if you're using the bills function and then exporting ABA files to pay through your bank. Obviously, you want to make sure the bank accounts are correct for the suppliers you're paying, and this report allows you to see, has anyone changed anything here recently? And then it's the invoices and bills section. So this is where you can see things such as, have things been backdated? Because this might be really important to go, well, why is this invoice being backdated? Is this actually the correct date? Maybe someone's made a mistake, or maybe we've got an issue with our systems and we're having to backdate invoices because we're not getting to them on time. All of these things can give you the assurance that your file is actually really secure, and that if any mistakes have been made, you can kind of narrow down to find out when it happened, why it happened, and maybe even who made the mistake. If you want to know more about using Xero, I put together this upcoming playlist, which goes through some of the other videos I've made on how you can get the most out of your Xero software. I thank you for watching this one, and I hope to see you over there.